welcome back to Johnny's Corner. Today we're going to do The Mission, starring Jeremy Irons and Robert De Niro. It's also got a little acting from Liam Neeson and Aidan Quinn, and they've done a bunch of movies together. So, The Mission, essentially, it's like the 1700s, I'm not too sure, don't quote me, but you got the Spaniards in that region and around Portugal and Spain are trying to take over these indigenous lands, and they want to essentially get all their minerals and stuff like that. And they're considered savages, the indigenous people. They're actually very beautiful people, you find out later. But anyways, there's this baron type, mercenary type guy played by Robert De Niro, and he's essentially sent up there to take these natives who are resisting, and they're making it really hard for these guys to pillage. So they're resisting on top of this mountain, so they send this guy up to take them out, and it doesn't bode too well for him. But anyways, the beginning of the film, it's Jeremy Irons, and he's a Jesuit priest, and he climbs up this mountain with a little recorder, like a flute, little musical instrument, and he's only armed with that, and he goes up there and he starts playing this beautiful sound, and the natives don't know what to make of it. But anyways, they take him in, and he shows them faith of Christ, and blah blah blah. Anyways, on the other side, we're talking about, I think I got carried away with Robert De Niro, but what happens is he's a pretty bloodlusted individual, do anything for money, no real soul. And when he's out gallivanting and whoring and fighting and killing and warmongering, his wife is at home with his brother, and they're kind of getting it on. So, you leave your woman untended to, that tends to happen. So, instead of being a man about it, he brutally murders his own brother. And the shame that comes after is just so much, where eventually he just wants to die, and he's destined to die when he's essentially saved by a Jesuit priest, Jeremy Irons. And so they want to take him up, and they want him to find his own way and help him out. So they ask him to join them on their way to start a mission on top of this mountain with the indigenous folk, and try and help these people. And if they can get a mission up there, then the Spanish army won't have the right to take them out. So anyways, long story short, Robert De Niro, he brings all this armor with him, all his weapons, and in the end, after all that work, it's thrown, and he finds his salvation's not behind the sword. I won't tell you too much more, other than he becomes enlightened in a sense where he asks for forgiveness and he finds a place with these people. But some crazy action comes in the end, and it's very intense, and it's probably has the best score out of any film I've ever watched. The music in this film is so beautiful. I tend to listen to it many times a year, just the orchestra alone. But I recommend it for that alone. And the cinematography is really, really good too in this film. And it just has a really good old film feel. So I highly recommend it. There is some weird parts, some naked kids running around, but it's just, it's how they lived, and, you wouldn't want to film that now, maybe it'd be weird, but, you ignore that part, the movie's really good, and, yeah, just really cool action, redemption, and, go watch it for yourself and tell me what you think. I think it won an Oscar for either for cinematography or for music, so it did well. It was a good film. Alright, check it out, The Mission. Take care. See you next time on Johnny's Corner.